Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you have been looking for a video that answers all your confusions when it comes to applying for the Erasmus Mundus application process, then you are at the right place. I'm thrilled to start yet another exciting series on addressing all the different confusions that you have when it comes to Erasmus Mundus application process. This series will consist of many informative videos, each focusing on the different key aspects of the application process. If you are new here, I'm Anisha and I share all the tips and tricks for ways that lead to self-development and a better academic and professional journey abroad. So be sure to stay tuned for the entire series. For the first episode of answering your frequently asked questions, FAQs, I have collected top 5 questions that flood my inbox from applicants like you in all the different social media channels. So without further ado, let's get into these burning questions that have been on your minds. By the end of this video, you will find answers that will help you to navigate through the Erasmus Mundus application process in a confident manner. So let's get started. We'll talk about these questions in different segments. The first segment is about the deadline for the Erasmus Mundus programs. Here, the question I get is, what is the deadline for the Erasmus Mundus programs? I know deadlines can be stuff of nightmares for many students, but when it comes to Erasmus Mundus programs, you don't have to lose your sleep over it. All you need to do is simply go to the Erasmus Mundus catalog, where you can find all the different programs in their website, including the deadlines. And if you don't know, Erasmus Mundus Scholarship does not have one specific program. Rather, it provides scholarships for many different programs in varied sectors. So there is no one size fit all kind of deadlines when it comes to these scholarship programs. Hence, I always make sure to provide link in the description of my YouTube videos for you to, go directly and click in the link for the Erasmus Mundus catalog. And I have listed in the description of this video as well. So simply go and click the link, then you will be directed to the list of all the programs that have been offered by the Erasmus Mundus programs. And when you find your program of interest, just beneath the title, you will see the direct website for the program. And when you get into the direct website, you will find all this information. And yeah, make sure to save the deadlines of all the programs that you are interested to apply in your calendar, because we don't want to miss out on the deadlines. And make sure that you submit all the documents by the deadline. So let's move on to another segment, segment 2, which is related to the proof of residence. Here in this segment, the questions I receive all the time are, what is a proof of residence? Where do I get the proof of residence from? Should this proof of residence be in a formal letterhead? And how long does it take for you to receive a proof of residence document, so on and so forth? Answering this question, the proof of residence does not come across a list of documents that are really difficult to receive or that take a lot of time for you to apply or go in the process of finally receiving it. In the simplest form, it is that crucial document that confirms your local status or basically your place of residence. So how do you get your hands over it? Well, you don't have to be anxious about it at all. Here's the look down. Proof of residence is a document provided by your municipality or your ward, confirming that you are the resident of a particular ward, municipality, city, and country. That's all. And answering your question on whether the proof of residence document should be in a formal letterhead, yes, you should get this document in the official letterhead of your city office or ward or municipality. It includes your personal information, including your ward, municipality, city, and country, and also maybe your date of birth and the time from when you are actually living in that particular place. And the second question, how do you receive this document? So all you need to do is visit any of these offices, simply request them for this document stating your case, and they will provide it for you in a jiffy. So it is usually provided in a few minutes. So it's not something that you have to spend a lot of time preparing. But here's another message that I get all the time. Applicants tell me all the time that they went to these offices but couldn't get the proof of residence because they realized the offices do not have any format for providing proof of residence, or that they have never issued such a document, which can be pretty normal, to be honest. In this case, if they don't have a specific format for the proof of residence, don't worry. First, request them to look into the format of the document that you are requesting for and see it if they can create one and give it to you. Other times, they might ask you to come up with a format, and this is when you can take the matters into your own hands You can simply create a format for the proof of residence looking at the internet and politely request them to issue a document for the same purpose. It's that easy. So whether it's your template or their template, or rest assured that it's 100% very, very easy to get a proof of residence. Also, bonus point, you helped other people or other applicants who might come to these offices asking for the proof of residence. So good job there. Let's move on to segment 3, which is all about curriculum vitae CV. Here again, the questions that I get all the time are, what should I include in my CV? What format should I use when creating my CV? How long should it be? And so on and so forth. To answer this question, it's important to dive into the nitty-gritty of crafting your CV. As most of you already know, CV is one of the most important application documents to succeed not only in the Erasmus Mundus application process, but also in any scholarship opportunity. Now, when it comes to putting together your CV, again, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. Typically, the main focus should be in keeping them concise as much as possible, and usually to about 2 pages max. You need to put your personal information, academic and professional experiences, and if you have a lot of work experience, then it might be a good idea to filter them based on the relevancy of these experience to the program that you're applying for. However, you must pay a close attention to any specific instructions that have been provided by your program of interest. This might outline details like font size, font style, and even the format like the Europass CV and the page limit of the CV. You must make sure that you strictly follow these criteria, not only for the Erasmus Mundus application process, but for any application, because these are the little things that will actually help the scholarship committee to kind of filter the applicants. As you know, Erasmus Mundus Scholarship is really competitive, so you would not want to give them any age based on which they can filter you out in the very first process. If you have seen my previous videos, I always recommend potential applicants to use the Europass CV format. But speaking of the Erasmus Mundus CV, let me tell you that some people are totally against it as well. But for me, I find it as a game changer for 2 main reasons. First, it is one of the CV formats that is widely accepted across Europe, and secondly, it provides you with structures and sections that helps to ensure that you have included all the essential segments in your CV. Honestly, for me, it's like having a roadmap guiding you through the CV creation process. And unless it is strictly mentioned in your program's application procedure, you can use any font style, font size for that matter. I generally use Calibri 11 or Times New Roman at 12. Plus, the best part of the Europass CV is it caters to all your preferences, and you can visit their website every time you want to make any edits or changes to the CV, and you can directly save them. I think it saves you a lot of time and hassle compared to all the other different formats of CV, or just creating CV in Word document. Think of it as your own personal CV guiding application thing, ensuring that your application stands out from the crowd because you have mentioned all the important sections in a proper sequence. Now it's time to move on to segment 4, which is the most common question. And trust me on this, it has been in my DMs several times, and it is, can I apply for the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship while I'm still in my final years of undergraduate or bachelor's degree? Well, the answer is both yes and no, because there's no one racist answer to it. It completely depends on the program of your interest. Each program has its own set of rules and its own criteria, but I understand your situation. You want to start preparing for your Erasmus Mundus application before you even complete your bachelor's degree, and I get it because you feel like you have the passion, you have the drive to become part of one of the Erasmus Mundus scholarship programs. So you feel like, why not give it a shot right now? Because after all, fortune favors the bold one, as they say. But each program has its own set of rules and own criteria that you have to follow. And just because you have the drive and passion to pursue one of the scholarship programs as soon as possible doesn't mean you can neglect the criteria that the program has mentioned in its website. In fact, you never should neglect any of the criteria that they have mentioned. So if you ask me, can I apply for the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship while I am still in my bachelor's final year? It entirely depends on the program's criteria. Some of the programs do allow the final year students to apply for the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship, and usually you have to inform them the date of accomplishment of your undergraduate degree, and also they will have a specific deadline until which you have to submit all the different documents, because when you are in your final year you will still not have your transcript and all the different documents that you'll get only after its completion. So yeah, again, while visiting the Erasmus Mundus catalog and the programs that you want to apply for, if you think you can provide all the documents that they have mentioned within the given deadline, and they have specifically mentioned that you can apply while in your final year as well, you can definitely start preparing and apply for that program. So always carefully read the given criteria and apply in accordance to the deadline that they have given. Now let's tackle the ultimate segment, which holds a lot of power when it comes to your selection in the Erasmus Mundus program. And yes, you got it right, it's the motivational letter. And also, as in all the different segments, I get a lot of questions regarding motivational letter. Like, what are the key elements that I should include in my motivation letter? How do I craft a stellar motivation letter? What are the things that I cannot be missing when creating my motivation letter? And applicants also tell me that they are unsure about where to start their motivation letter. I totally understand this moment when you are crafting your motivation letter is very crucial, because it is your one document that can create a moment for you to shine and make a lasting impression on the selection committee. And it's quite natural to feel overwhelmed on specifically where and how to start your motivation letter. But most of you know I have already got you covered with the recipe of success for your motivation letter. I have made an entire video about how to write your motivation letter from start to end, that too based on my motivation letter that got me into the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship program. So if you haven't checked it out, I will share the link in the description of this video. And when I say it has a roadmap to making an award-winning motivational letter, I mean it, because this is the exact process that I followed when crafting my own motivational letter for the Erasmus Scholarship. But the thing I want to emphasize here is that most of the students come to me saying that they have watched the video that I made on the motivation letter, prepare their motivation letter in a similar manner, and want me to review the letter. But I have interestingly found when I review those letters, it does not follow the same coherence or, the key topics that I mentioned in the motivation letter. So please listen to this carefully. One thing that you have to make sure when you're watching that video and trying to draft a motivation letter for you is to follow the steps that I have mentioned and make sure you include the key elements that I have mentioned in the motivation letter. So please make sure that you watch that video carefully, create your motivation letter in the best way possible, read it repeatedly again and again, edit it, and once you feel like you cannot do anything more to make this motivation letter better, then only it is the right time for you to contact me for your review of your motivation letter. And yes, if you want to get your motivation letter or any other documents reviewed, you can find the link in the description below. So check it out, I'll leave it there. And there you have it, guys, the answers to your 5 most frequently asked questions that will help you to perfect your Erasmus Mundus application journey. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the series answering your frequently asked questions as much as I have. And thank you for joining in today. Do make sure to leave comments on anything that is confusing to you or that you want to get answers to for the Erasmus Mundus application process or any scholarships in general, because I will incorporate your comments with questions for the next video in this series. Stay tuned for the entire series where I'll be answering all your comments and questions in detail. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate you liking the video, commenting of course your questions and confusions regarding Erasmus Mundus Scholarship or basically any scholarship process, and do subscribe to my YouTube channel for more tips and tricks on self-development, leading an amazing academic and professional life abroad. And don't forget to share with your friends, juniors, seniors, anybody who wants to be part of the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship programs. Remember, every accomplishment starts with your decision to try. So take the first step now for your scholarship journey. Before I sign up, here is the motivation letter video that I was talking about. Go watch it now and I'll see you there. Bye bye.